No DQ&A is the greatest. And the cat has spoken. Oh yeah, and I'm an attention whore who likes to be in every video. There you go. Welcome everyone to NoDQ&A. I am Aaron Riff, the owner of NoDQ.com. If you want to check out the cat, go to youtube.com/thecatdiaries. But if you're here for wrestling discussion, let's get right down to it. Alright. Hey Aaron, do you think Kurt Angle will ever return to WWE in a wrestling capacity or otherwise? I think there's a good chance that we will see Kurt Angle in a WWE ring again someday. At the very least, I think he'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame when he's done with TNA. As far as coming back into the ring, I think a lot of it depends on if WWE will give him a part-time schedule. I do not see Kurt Angle returning to WWE on a full-time basis like in the past. I think if he does come back, it'll be something similar to what Shawn Michaels had, where he'll work the television shows, but he won't be on the road a lot doing house shows or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good chance that we'll see Kurt Angle compete in a WWE ring again at some point. It just, if I had to bet, I would say yes. Hey Aaron, are you a fan of Jeff Hardy in TNA or WWE? Personally, I like his heel promos, but I like his in-ring work in WWE. What do you think? Well, first of all, I'm not really a big fan of Jeff Hardy as a heel and on the mic. Jeff Hardy he's never really been known for his promos. What Jeff Hardy's been known for is, taking all the crazy risks, doing the high-flying moves that fascinate the crowd and put them in a frenzy. When you turn him heel, that pretty much takes away his whole act, because the babyface is the one that does all the big spots. The heel is the one that keeps the pace slow and puts the rest holds on, and you cheer for the babyface to make the big comeback. So being a heel totally goes against what Jeff Hardy's character is. And Jeff Hardy's always been like the underdog. You want to see him make his comeback. He's the small guy, not really, the big muscular guy. So yeah, I was never a big fan of Jeff Hardy as a heel in TNA. And as far as the in-ring work goes, there's a reason for that. Jeff Hardy was pretty much phoning it in TNA. He's there for a paycheck, like a lot of those guys. He's not there because he really wants to be there. He's just there because it's a job. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is with TNA and WWE. It's the big show, and he's going to go out there and give it his best. Otherwise, he wouldn't be working there. All right, let's see what else we have here. How will they get rid of Hulk Hogan from TNA? Is it contract-wise, or does he really have to make this company implode? What I think it's going to come down to is that either Hogan's contract will expire, and TNA will just not want to pay him what he wants. Or something will happen with Spike TV. Either they will want to keep him or they will want to get rid of him, depending on what direction. Because Spike TV has a lot of influence with TNA in terms of the product. Spike TV's pumping in money. Spike TV might be helping TNA run some more shows out of the Impact Zone. So it all depends on what all sides want to do with Hogan. If they feel that the Hogan brand name is still valuable, then they'll keep him around. If not, then Hogan and TNA will go their separate ways. That's just the way it is. What are your thoughts on TNA's direction post Bound for Glory? Do you think it will get worse than it already is, or do you think they will start to make their program at least watchable? Bottom line here is nothing is going to change until they get a new creative team. As long as they have the same people running the show, nothing's going to change. There you go. How is it remotely possible that TNA has been in the business longer than the original ECW? Two things. Deeper pocket and good timing. Deeper pockets. Hogan, RVD, Jeff Hardy, all these guys staying. TNA could afford to pay those big contracts. You probably would have never seen a guy like Hulk Hogan in ECW. There would have been no way that Paul Heyman could afford to pay Hogan that kind of money. And just the timing situation. When ECW got their TV deal with TNN, a year later WWE ended up on TNN, and result ended with ECW losing their TV deal. With TNA, it was the opposite situation. WWE was leaving TNN, and therefore it gave TNA the opportunity to come step in and take WWE's spot on the network. So yeah, I mean, it's basically comes down to those two things. Do you think Kane will retire within the next year? Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance it's coming close to the end for Kane. I think his run in 2010 was his last big run as a main event player. I think, you know, he's getting up there. He's in his mid 40s, I think, somewhere around there, and he's probably only has a few years left, if that. But yeah, I mean, he's had a great run. Definitely one of the top big men in the last 10 years for WWE, and you know, he had a great career. There's not really much else for Kane to do, really. He's done everything I think that he was meant to do. So there you go. All right, that about does it for NoDQ&A here on NoDQ.com. You can submit your questions, formspring.me/AaronRift. Leave a comment on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with my opinions? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear from everybody. And that about does it. We'll see you next time for NoDQ&A.